Time to separate the men from the boys. Conference play has arrived. State title aspirations, they're in full throttle. Welcome into a Week 5 edition of Football Friday Night. I'm Jacob Seuss, and it's game time.
And I'm Jonathan Acosta. And Jacob, you're right. It truly is game time. Across the area, tonight's slate of games are coming to a close. So let's find out who started conference play on the right foot in our 5 News Game of the Week.
Yeah, over in the Sooner State, ROLAND, they were taking on rival POCOLA in a battle of the best in the 2A5. ROLAND beat the Indians 38-0 last year, and POCOLA, well, they were looking for revenge tonight. Some trash talk between these two, and then they hit the field. The Rangers look solid to start this one, taking those lazy line play comments personally as Cortland Oliver runs outside for a huge gain. ROLAND, they look like they're poised to take it to the house here. Jackson Fouts, we talk about him every week, threads the needle to Tyler Carlisle. However, they would turn the ball over on downs. Defensively, ROLAND still looking good as they hold Ian Hardwick to a short gain here, but it was short-lived because 2 plays later, Hardwick, he's going to find Trinity Bright in the corner of the end zone. That's a great connection right there. Yeah. First points of the game, 7-0 Indians. And on that ensuing Ranger drive, it nearly goes the distance, but we keep saying his name for a reason. Hardwick with a huge interception at the 1, ripping it away from ROLAND. And POCOLA, they continue to impress. They hand ROLAND its first loss of the season. The Indians won just 1 game all of last season. Now they improved to 3-1. Jason Parker's squad, they're looking pretty good.
And next, we head out to Bentonville West, where the Wolverines were playing host to Fayetteville. First, Purple Dogs drive. Quarterback Bladen Fike scrambling in the pocket. He heads to the air and hits his man Isaiah Setenya for the touchdown. The Oregon commit. What can't this man
Every
do?
week. We talk about him every week.
Every week. One of the best players in the state. Next West drive would end up in the hands of Braylon Palmer, who comes away with the pick, and Fayetteville would capitalize. Arkansas commit Manai Powell punches it in from 2 yards out. It's 14-0 Fayetteville, but the Wolverines were not going to roll over. Ensuing drive, Ty Durham makes the catch, and he hits the corner. He's got reservations for 6.
He almost ran me over. But a touchdown's a touchdown.
A touchdown's a touchdown to make it a 1-possession game, but then it's Fayetteville that answers. 4th and goal, they're going for it. Dylan Kittle is going to make that decision worth it. What a grab to once again put the Purple Dogs up by 2 scores. Fayetteville gets conference play started on the right foot. The Purple Dogs roll to victory and will return home to take on Rogers next Friday night.
We're just getting started here on Football Friday Night. When we return, the Shiloh Christian Saints, they were on the road, putting their 3-1 record on the line. Stick with us here on Football Friday Night. Welcome back into Football Friday Night. 32 straight conference wins for the Bentonville Tigers, a streak unlike any other.
Unlike any other, and tonight in the 7A West action, those Tigers travel to Har-Ber looking to push that streak just a bit further.
We'll see if they can make it 33. A beautiful night it really was for the first time all season. Temperatures were great, but it was the other Cats who jumped in front. Tigers up 20-0 late in the first half. Josh Ficklin goes right up the gut, 27-20 over Har-Ber at halftime. So we jump to the second half, and those Wildcats, they're going to force the punt, and they block it. Cohen Daniel, there to cause the havoc. Eli Estes, he's there to make the recovery. Wildcats, they have some life. They hand it off to Hudson Brewer, and watch the junior go to work. He takes the Bentonville defender's ankles before making his way in for the touchdown. Wildcats within 2 scores. But the Tigers poured cold water on any comeback attempt. Next drive, Tigers go right back to Ficklin. He goes right back into the end zone, and that would do it. Bentonville at a 30-14 lead. They win this one 41-21. Tigers improve to 3-1 behind Ficklin's monster. Get this, 5-touchdown performance. Bentonville, 33 straight conference victories.
Next, we head to Lavaca, where the Golden Arrows were hosting the undefeated Cedarville Pirates. Cedarville's Daryl Kadich got things started here. A short run for the touchdown. They would convert the 2-point conversion, and that would make it 8-0.
Love teams that go for 2.
You should always go for 2. The math says you should go for 2. Lavaca's Maddox Noel now on the keeper for the short touchdown. That made it 8-6. Next, Lavaca pitching it to Dakota Hartsfield for the 2-point conversion.
More
and that'll make it 8-8. These teams know how to follow the math. Cedarville's, this play faked out our cameraman, but the long ball thrown to Bradley Perkins for the touchdown. Again, they go for another two-point conversion.
This game.
And they convert the two-point conversion, 16-8. Next, Maddox Knoll, short pass to Corey Arredondo for the touchdown. They failed the two-point conversion on this one, so it would still be 16-14. And Lavaca falls by 2 points to Cedarville. Cedarville with the win, 38-36.
There you go. We're going to stay in that same conference. Tonight in Charleston, we needed the running clock. The Tigers have shown in its first 3 games they're one of the best teams in the 3A, and tonight, well, it was no different. Charleston knocked off Greenland 51-0 to improve to 4-0 for the first time since 2017. Quarterback Brandon Scott threw for over 300 yards, while the Tiger defense, they pitched the shutout. This sets up a big-time matchup next Friday when the undefeated Tigers head to Cedarville, the team we just saw, who are also 4-0, a matchup of undefeated teams. That should be a great one.
That would be a great one. We had a good one in the 3A, Rogers Heritage hosting Springdale. Both teams looking for their first wins of the season. The War Eagles marched right down the field on their opening drive. Eli Craig takes the handoff, shoots right up the middle, and he's basically untouched right into the end zone. It was 7-0 Rogers Heritage early. Springdale, they answered right back though. 4th and goal from the 2, Landon Phipps takes it outside and he punches it in. That tied it at 7 after the point after attempt. So let's go to the ensuing kickoff. Springdale kicks it off. J.J. Lockett back to field it for Rogers Heritage. He bounces off a couple defenders, then goes for the stiff arm. But Danners Wiley gets his arm in there and forces the fumble. He falls on it, and that sets up Springdale with great field position.
Big play all around. Jeez.
Yes, and then they convert that. 3rd and goal, it's Ronnie Stillwell plowing his way in for the touchdown. Rogers Heritage falls at home to Springdale, 31-20, the final score in that one.
Red Dogs getting their first win of the year. Congrats to Brett Hobbs' squad. But after the break, we're going to finish things off in the 7A Central.
That's right. After a big-time win, Northside looked to get back on track against Bryant. Highlights when Football Friday Night returns.
Welcome back into Football Friday Night. We're going to wrap things up here in the 7A Central. After a big win last time out in a shootout against Har-Ber, Northside, they had the tough task of going up against one of the best teams in the state, Bryant Hornets.
And a big-time test tonight for the Grizzlies. Second half action started with a solid game. It would be Martavian Earl for the Hornets. The Hornets with a 21-7 lead to start the half. Right here, he's just running, tumbling, gets his way down for the first down. The Grizzlies defense looked to stop the Bryant ground attack, and they come up here with a big play right here on the tackle, the forced fumble. It's a nice heads-up play to play until the whistle, scooping up the loose ball. Northside, they would look to capitalize. They couldn't capitalize on the fumble. Back on defense they go, where they forced, get this, a second forced fumble in a row. But once again, they go 3 and out. It was the tail of that half here for the Grizzlies. So Northside trying to make something happen, but here it's 4th down. Walker Katsavis trying to make something out of nothing and absolutely sandwiched up on the play. Now the Hornets looking to get on the board late in the 3rd quarter as Christopher Ganaway spins away from 2 Grizzlies, dives for the end zone, but it's marked just shy. Carson Burnett doesn't waste any time though as he punches it in for the first score of the half, extending the Bryant lead 28-17. The Hornets would go on to score one more time in this one, ending Northside's win streak with a 35-17 win.
Northside, they had such a good start to the year, 3-0. They won that shootout with Har-Ber, but you have to lose at some point. It's hard to go undefeated, especially in the 7A Central. Northside, though, they're still 3-1, still looking good headed into next week. But a good start to conference play here for around Arkansas and Oklahoma.
Absolutely. And for any teams that lost, there's still a lot of football left to play, so they still have a lot of schedule to look forward to. That's it for our high school highlights. But Jacob, Arkansas down in Dallas tomorrow against Texas A&M. You're going to be down there. What are you looking forward to seeing at Jerry World?
Yes, it's going to be an early alarm tomorrow, 2:30 kick, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I think if Arkansas can win this game, they're going to move into the top 10 for the first time in a long time. So it's going to be an exciting game. All the Texas kids going home for Arkansas, they're going to be amped up, and hopefully the Hogs can pull out a victory.
Certainly a battle that's going to be kind of defined there in the trenches. Both teams like to run the ball. Both teams stout on defense as well. But like you said, Arkansas, if they can get a win, move into the top 10, sets up a huge matchup at Georgia next week.
Absolutely. And like you said, Jonathan, we'll have full live coverage of the Arkansas game against Texas A&M. And thank you for sticking with us tonight here on Football Friday Night, Week 5, first conference play edition. For more highlights and scores, head to our website, 5newsonline.com. Have a great weekend, everyone.